Today's episode is inspired from my Self-Care Society class titled Living Our Gratitude. This episode is publishing just before the Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States, so it's likely your gratitude radar is a little higher than usual. I hope this episode gives you some powerful tools to bring the spirit of gratitude well beyond November and into the everyday experiences of your life. Our quote today comes from John F. Kennedy and says, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." So how does the dictionary define the word grateful? Well, appreciative of benefits received, affording pleasure or contentment, and pleasing. So man, gratitude is something that we hear so much in this space, but we have to really get in the practice of flexing that muscle. It's a muscle that we can strengthen over time. So before we jump into some of our exercises and our tips and all that good stuff, I want to do our pause and practice. So we are just going to pause. And again, like an actor or an actress, I want you to try on the feeling of gratitude. What would it be like to embody an energetic vibration of gratitude right now? Okay, so close your eyes if that's accessible to you. If not, just feel. And when you feel grateful in your body, how do you feel? For me, I feel at peace. That was the first thing I noticed is when I'm feeling grateful, I feel at peace. I'm looking for what's working. I have ease, I have joy, and I feel really present. So notice what that is for you. Maybe your body relaxes a little bit like mine did. It seems to soften a little. And I want to just encourage you to bring this feeling with you throughout our session today. Now, I'll give you a little story about gratitude in my own life. I remember living in New York City, and I had been running my new meal delivery company, Model Meals, out of my West Village studio apartment. I was completely broke, and I was trying to make ends meet in a way that aligned with my passions. My business had grown slightly, though it was far from profitable, and I was running out of space. And at this point, I was at least a month late on my rent and quickly acquiring more debt. Not long after, I would have a pink slip on my door threatening eviction. And soon after that, I would move into my parents' garage in California, where I'd lived for 2 years as I got my feet back on the ground. But looking back, I will never forget the people who encouraged and supported me during that time. My building superintendent, Raul, found an extra fridge that I could plug into my studio that allowed me to operate just a little bit more efficiently. My first Model Meals customers showed up week to week, even through all the learning curves. My friend Lisa down the hall would let me stay over at her apartment when I rented my place out to make some money, and she loaned me her computer when mine broke. My parents and my grandparents gave me loans when I was desperate, a luxury I know not everyone has, and I can proudly say that they were fully repaid over the next years. There were many more people who helped me during this time, and the gratitude I have for them is infinite. Now, this really challenging time in my life made it kind of easy to feel grateful because this contrast was so apparent. And while life still brings its curveballs, I'm glad that I strengthened those muscles during the hard times because it conditioned me to mostly find gratitude now in all the small moments of life, though it's not always easy or natural. So bear with me. I don't know about you, but I find it quite easy to wake up and just go on autopilot, thinking about all the things that are undone or that haven't gone as planned. I don't know why we're like that as humans, why we often look more deeply at what isn't than what is. But the good news is that gratitude and the action of actually turning to it first is like turning right to gratitude first is just like any muscle that you strengthen. And with enough practice and consistency, we can teach ourselves to first see what is working, what we can be thankful for, and what lessons might be learned from our experiences. And you can witness the struggle simultaneously while also finding the gratitude at the same time. And to me, that's a form of existing that is supportive, empowering, and whole. Gratitude has played a huge part in my life, and it's an essential element of my own daily self-care rituals. Practice it regularly and watch your world change. So, as usual, I have a few tips for you as you are looking for and cultivating more gratitude in your life. So one is to set a recurring reminder to express your gratitude. I especially like the idea of present gratitude. So that's like looking at what's right in front of me right now, in the room with me, present, not just what I'm grateful for in the past or in the big picture. And I like to look around and really identify that. And I do this daily in my life sheet. I have a section where I just write gratitude, usually somewhere between 5 and 10 things that I'm feeling grateful for in the present moment. Now, on the flip side, you can also use gratitude to manifest. You can say thank you ahead of time for what you hope to call in before it has arrived. And this has been a really powerful practice for me as well, is to think about, how do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? What do I want the results of this circumstance to be? And to say thank you for what you're calling in, because it gets us in the vibration of what it would truly be like for that to be true, right? And so then energetically, we're calling that into ourselves. So we're not blocking it. We have the energy that aligns with whatever the manifestation is. Okay, so saying thank you for what you hope to call in before it has arrived. You can also use the contrast of your life to ignite your practice of gratitude. So especially when everything feels like it might be falling apart, you can pause and challenge yourself to make a list of everything that isn't. It's a powerful, powerful way to shift your perspective. And when I say the contrast, I mean the stuff that just doesn't feel good, right? Those moments in our life that are uncomfortable or icky or just kind of meh. That's where we get information that leads us towards change. That is what gives us so many different truths, okay? So don't be afraid of the contrast. Use it, especially in the case of gratitude. So as usual, we're going to practice feeling more gratitude together with some exercises straight from Self-Care Society classes. As always, I'll pause to give you a moment to think, but feel free to stop the recording if you need more time to ponder or write. You'll also hear inspiring examples from our live classes too, and you can join us for a full schedule of live and on-demand classes at selfcaresociety.co. All right, so we'll start with a reflection exercise that I call Grateful Today. So I want you to just think about or free write or ponder about your day today. Okay, starting from the moment you woke up and getting as far through the day as you can, expressing gratitude for whatever you can think of. So my example, I said, thank you for being so organized with our packing to make for a stress-free morning and an on-time departure. Thank you for spilled coffee easily cleaned up. Thank you for a safe drive from Vegas to California. Thank you for all the smiles and giggles from my daughter in the car. Thank you for a quick visit with my parents and the joy that grandbabies bring them. Okay, so let me give you a moment here to pause and to think about this for yourself or to write it down. Your present gratitude for today. All right, we have an example from Noelle who says, thank you for a bit of nice weather for a long walk with Rusty and Dan. Shelby says, thank you for waking up to a kiss from Johnny and his sweet, loving presence in my life. Chelsea says, thank you for sleeping in and waking slowly. Our next exercise is called Gratitude Inspired Action. Okay, so I'm going to have a prompt for you that you can use to really do this. So you're going to use this prompt to inspire action from your gratitude. Okay, so this is not just about thinking about what we're grateful for, but it's bridging that gap between the knowledge and the action. Okay, so the prompt is, I'm grateful for blank, so I'll blank. Let me give you an example. So my example, I said, I'm grateful for the way my partner shows up. So I'll continue to express my appreciation and model the things I love back to him. I'm grateful for the freedom I have in my career and life, so I'll make an effort to help others to find this level of freedom for themselves. Okay? So now your turn. Pause and think about this. I'm grateful for blank, so I'll blank. What's the action? What action is inspired by you witnessing what you're grateful for? We have a great example from Shelby who says, I'm grateful for my home and how lovely it is, so I'll make a special effort to adorn and care for her. Chelsea says, I'm so grateful for Molly helping us locate the perfect apartment in Denver, so I'll keep expressing my gratitude and reminding how helpful and wonderful she is. Beautiful. So our next exercise is a self-love exercise called Grateful Actions for Myself. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this gratitude inward and use this same prompt, but to inspire actions of self-love. Okay. So the prompt is, I'm grateful blank, so I'll blank. Okay, sounds the same, but here's the difference. Let me read you my examples. I said, I'm grateful that I am learning to trust myself more and more each day, so I'll continue to pause and listen into my needs and push away judgment for following my desires. So I'm turning it around. I'm looking at myself. Okay, another example. I'm grateful that I make it a priority to stay active, so I will continue to incorporate mindful movement wherever possible. So your turn to pause and think about, what are you grateful for in yourself, in your own experience, for you, and what will you do as a result? What inspired action does that take? So Noelle says, I'm grateful that I see creativity and play, so I'll keep finding joy in each day. I'm grateful that I savor the little things, so I will continue to find opportunities to single task and be inspired by what's around me. I'm grateful for my tenacity to try again, so I'll be reminded that I have the power to accomplish whatever I set my mind to or desire. Alexandria says, I'm grateful that everything works out for me, so I'll worry less and do more things that scare me. Shelby says, I'm grateful for learning how my body works so I can love her more deeply. Man, these are so good. All right, our final exercise is one of clarity, and it's called Sincere Gratitude for You. Okay, so I want you to think of something. This could be a person, a pet, an experience, or a resource, a challenge, anything. Something you have immense gratitude for. And I want you to write them or think about what you would say to them if you wrote a letter expressing how you feel. Okay, so some examples could be, dear gardening. Maybe you love gardening like I do. Dear body image struggles. Maybe that's been something that you have a lot of gratitude for as it's, led to growth in your life. Dear debt. Maybe your debt has sparked, growth in you. Maybe there's a book you read, dear book, etc. Okay, so I want you to think about what that is for you. Mine, I wrote to my daughter because I was just feeling called to shower her an extra love. So my example, I said, Dear Billy, thank you for showing me a love and joy unlike anything I've witnessed. Thank you for all the laughter you bring to my life and the excitement every day to be in your presence. Thank you for teaching me to unplug more and to push past the focus on what I want to see things from a different lens, a wider lens. Okay, so take a moment, think about this for you. Who are you going to write this letter to or express these words of affirmation to, who you feel really grateful for? And again, doesn't have to be a person, could be any sort of experience in life. So take a moment. Okay, and now we have a powerful share from Shelby.
Dear Jet, thank you for allowing me to go after my dreams and get the knowledge I desire. Thank you for helping me be in the rooms that are allowing me the capacity to make a lot of money. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for teaching me about abundance. Thank you for teaching me how to love myself better, deeper, and wider. I love that you've allowed me to grow into this next version of myself. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for, I said it again. Thank you for allowing me to grow in abundance. Apparently it's really doing that. Thank you for expanding my resources. Thank you for believing in me, because they believed in me or they wouldn't have allowed that. So yeah. Thank you for helping me create a new identity. Thank you for showing me who I am and becoming more me.
Thank you, Shelby. That was so beautiful. And thank you all for being here today and for listening in or watching. In this season of gratitude and beyond, I hope you can truly feel the gratitude that I feel for you. I thank you for gifting us and me with your energy, your presence, and your attention. Thank you for being the type of person who wants to expand and evolve. Thank you for all the ways that you show up so beautifully in this world. I am eternally grateful. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today on your morning mindset practice. I hope you're feeling more grateful, and I would love to have you join us at selfcaresociety.co for a live or on-demand class so you can stay consistent with your self-care, connect with other like-minded people, and continue filling your cup so you can overflow onto the world. We need you. I'll see you next time.